Namaste, yogi practitioners. This is my meditation final. Let us hope for two things. One, my battery doesn't die. And two, it doesn't rain, because it has been raining all morning. Okay, first thing we're going to need for this movement meditation is either a 5-foot staff or a 6-foot staff. And we're going to go through several different motions, practicing transitioning the staff from one hand into the other and going behind the back several different ways. There's one, there's the other. We will also go behind the back like this. Other than that, we're going to be doing forward strikes, downward strikes from a forward stance like that. It's a downward strike. It's an upward strike. We'll also be doing upward strikes from the side, downward strikes from the side. Excuse me. I believe I'm going to, there we go. Might make things a little bit more clear. Okay, so let us begin. Our first staff movement is a downward strike hand transition. So keeping one hand, or non-dominant hand, to our side like this, and having our stance in about a 90-degree angle, 1 foot forward, one back to the side, facing outward. We go with the downward strike. You can pick a number. I like 3, 4, or 5. And then we just switch hands. Step forward, step back. 2, 3, 4. We'll go with 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the only prerequisite for these is you have to know how to skip catch. If you don't know how to skip catch, there are plenty of videos on YouTube. I may have even did one. But essentially you're allowing the bow staff to make a rotation and then catch it and then spin it. So it's going to do like this half rotation, 3/4 rotation. Right there, 1. And we'll just do this for a while. Warm up. Some key pointers or tips you can keep in mind. It doesn't matter how fast you go, just as long as you keep moving. That is a great quote for bow staffing. No pressure. We just want to keep the motion fluid and always moving. We don't have to be a super ninja, right? That'll come with practice and in time. Very good. That is our first 4 minutes. I think we're ready to transition into an upward strike. So upward strikes, the pinky leads the way, right? Take your dominant staff hand and you're going to strike upward like this, then come back around the other side of your hip. Just as such. I'm a bit quicker with my upward strikes. We want to keep our opposite hand ready to catch. When it comes back around on our dominant hand, we're no longer switching on our opposite hand. We're switching on the spinning staff hand. So we do another skip catch. As such. And when the skip catch time comes, it'll be on the hand we're spinning the staff with. There we go. That was a nice shot of it. And if you're not joining me or you plan to do this later, either way, I know it can be hard to spin a staff and watch a video. You can always review this later. I always feel like a Shaolin monk when I'm walking around with my staff. Makes me feel special, a little cool. That time I switched with the opposite hand. Don't mind me. We can do that. I'll show you how to do it again. Right here, we come around. Preferably, I like switching with the staff spinning hand. I don't know why, it just feels a little bit more natural to me. In case you were wondering, there are a few different ways to hold the staff. I like to hold it about half to 2/3 way down the staff. Gives me a good indicator of how the staff is going to spin. Keeps it nice and even, the balance of it all. So even sometimes I forget simple stuff. I keep forgetting to put my hand up. Alright, we will practice opposite hand switching now again. There we go. Very good. The way we do this is we just spin it up, we catch in the back of the arm, and we can spin it back down. We can bring it out to the side if we wish as well. 7.5 minutes in, we will now do a side rotation. So we're going to start with downward strikes, holding the staff near the middle. We're going to go behind us, in front of us. Thumb leads the way. Once again, downward strikes. Thumb leads the way, downward strikes. Ooh, almost hit my shin. That would have been fun. Good thing I'm taking my time. Let's take our time. It does not feel good to get hit with the staff. Hit my ear. It's probably the worst place. The ear, the head, back of the head. Alright, when we come right here, we're going to go slowly. Catch. Now pinky leads the way. Upward strikes, right? And that's how we can transition. Staff striking from the side. Of course, we can also face the direction that we're spinning in. And do something a little different. I'm going to catch it there and then go back here just to demonstrate. See, I'm turned towards my staff striking stance, and then I spin, turn towards the staff striking stance. We're still striking from the side, we're no longer striking forward, but we can see where we're striking, right? Now when we go up, we come around, let the staff spin. There we go, back to downward strikes. Let's see if I can do that a little smoother. So downward strikes, skip catch, upward strikes, bring it around, and we call that an overhead spin, right? Because we're going over the head. Bring it right here. Let's try to build up some intensity a little bit. downward, upward, overhead. Downward, upward. We'll do 2 rotations this time. Go overhead. Go behind the back if you want to. Now we're going to change sides. So we're going to do what we did before, but this time downward strikes on our non-dominant hand and upward strikes on our dominant hand. And we can face the direction that we're staff spinning if we wish, or we can look forward, whichever you prefer in the moment. So we are downward striking. We will skip catch, go into an upward strike. And the real trick with this upward strike is the moment you begin going this way, you start to bring it up. And then you can come back down into the downward strikes. I'll show that again slowed down. We go into the skip catch. We come up. We go down. We come up. We go down. Come up. Bring it overhead this time. Catch. Or skip catch. And downward strikes. Alright, let's build up intensity again. Sometimes it'll snag on your forearm. That happens to me occasionally. I've yet to figure out quite how to prevent that. I guess it's just how the body is stationed. There we go. If we spin it too much while in the air, that's one way. I'll show you here. We go up. If I overspin it, it can hit the back of my arm. Or if I overspin it, it can hit my forearm, right? What we want to do, ideally, is get it just in that sweet spot, that half rotation. There it is. Catch, half rotation, bring it down. Kind of left myself with no choice but to go behind the back there. Okay, how are we doing? We are nearing halfway done with the staff spinning session. So, yes, this time, let's go behind the back traditionally. Ooh, a birdie. Okay, so we're going to downward strike. And once we hit that half rotation, we begin to bring it around the back. We can stop it up top and go back into downward striking. That is what my preference usually is. I like to stop and end on a downward strike if I go traditionally behind my back. So you'll see me stop, go into a downward strike. Of course, we can also bring it around the front. But now you see we are upward striking. It's a bit harder to bring it around the back. We have to actually kind of catch it and then bring it once again around the back. That's why I don't like upward striking with the traditional behind the back stance. If you're going overhead, yes, by all means, you can go from a downward strike to an upward strike with great fluidity. It's like this. But as far as I know, in my expertise, if you're doing a downward strike and you're traditionally going behind the back, then you're going to want to pull out all the stops. Just kidding. You're going to want to stop. Or bring it there, and then, there we go. What am I saying? Let me try that again. There we go. Right here. Right here. We don't have to keep spinning, but it's always good right there. Okay. Let's do a small stop stretch, right? Now that we've warmed up with our movements, we can bring our staff arm up. As such, stretch out our shoulders a bit. This is another great reason to get a staff. It is great for stretching. Oh, feels nice. There we go. Got our shoulders stretched a bit. Time are we at now? Nearing 17 minutes. Okay. I'm thinking our next movement will be bent behind the back. Or I've shown it before. We're going